What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past few days. We do have a lot of topics to discuss. Firstly, of course, Barcelona's search for a new manager has begun. We've been linked with a lot of names, some concrete, some really not concrete, but we do have the leaked news of what Barcelona's plan is in regards to signing a new, and of course picking a new manager. In regards to players coming to Barcelona, we're being linked of course heavily with Lucas Bergvall, who again Barcelona have a full agreement with his current Swedish club over the transfer. Is just now waiting for the Bergvall green light, but apparently Tottenham Hotspur are in the background trying their best to hijack the operation. One of Barcelona's main targets for the upcoming summer transfer window will be Aleix Garcia. Again, they've liked him in January. They tried to get the deal done in January, but couldn't in the end. And now they're keeping an eye on him for the summer and do want to bring him in to strengthen our midfield. And we also have some updates in regards to exits. Firstly, Mikayil Faye had a lot of interest for him in the final few days of the January transfer window. We'll give you guys an update on that, the offers that came in, and what Barcelona's plan is for Mikayil Faye's future. And finally, by the way, Oriol Romeu has handed in a transfer request. We'll talk about that as well. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. And let's get into it. Now, before we get into the video, this video is sponsored by LU Soccer. LU Soccer is one of the most versatile replica jersey websites on the market. They have a variety of different items from different clubs, from CONCACAF, Serie A, Bundesliga, Ligue 1. They have a jersey from any country, any league, basically in the world. And of course, they do have some Barcelona merchandise. I do have here two items they have sent me, which I think is absolutely fantastic. One is this limited edition black kit. I believe this was a concept. It looks absolutely beautiful. Of course, it has the Spotify logo there, and also this one is what caught my eye the most. It is this kind of retro. It has the first ever badge for Barcelona in the middle there as well. It looks so sick, and they have different options very similar to this one for all different clubs and country. So what are you waiting for? Hit the top link in the description down below and check out LU Soccer today for the best prices and also the best quality. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few days. And the first update we do have is in regards to the January transfer window. As we all know, today is deadline day, and it's very unlikely that Barcelona will do any kind of operation. If they do, it will be a last second panic operation, but again, very unlikely. Raccoon have come out saying that following an analysis, Barcelona has decided against utilizing the FFP margin to acquire a midfielder, citing Balde's injury as a factor. This is due to the unavailability of a suitable option and the desire to avoid complications for FFP considerations for the upcoming season. As we all saw a few days ago, Fermin Lopez was officially promoted to the first team, and we suspect that Barcelona used that Balde FFP margin to end up doing that. So in the end, the club decided, look, there's not that much margin, there's not really someone out there that we can bring in anyways, we might as well just sack the whole thing off. And also Deco did confirm this during the match last night against Osasuna, saying that the demand of this club makes it not easy to find players with fair play that we have. Balde's injury was on the 24th of January, and that makes it even more difficult. We have youth on our side, we are recovering players, and we will fight with what we have right now, and we have the quality within this team in order to compete. So with Balde's injury coming in very late, of course the surgery being only done a few days ago, didn't give the club enough time to make some movements and see how much fair play they would have as well. So in theory, Barcelona will not sign anyone today. If they do, then are they panicking and they're risking like no tomorrow? But again, Barcelona's January transfer window has essentially come to a close. Now, with the January transfer window coming to a close, of course, Barcelona are now going to be keeping an eye on the summer transfer window and are already hounding down their plans for that market. One of them being Aleix Garcia, who was rumored a lot to join in January, around the beginning and middle of January, but in the end, that never took place. Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona want to tie up Aleix Garcia for the summer and intend to reach an agreement with Girona soon. Some say his release clause is 20 million euros, some people say it's 14, I've even heard 12 million euros. Beyond the money, Barcelona have players to include in that operation like Oriol Romeu, Pablo Torre, or Eric Garcia. So Barcelona are planning the signing of Aleix Garcia in the summer. For me, that is an absolutely fantastic signing. Imagine having a midfield option of Aleix Garcia Pedri, Gavi, Frankie, Gundogan as well. It would be brilliant. A lot of people are saying that with us being linked with Aleix Garcia, surely that means that someone else is going to leave, and with the other ones and who they are, it's probably going to lead to Frankie de Jong. Apparently Barcelona are going to sell a big player this summer, and Aleix Garcia could be coming in as a Frankie de Jong replacement. How I see it is that we need, of course, 6 midfielders. So you'd have Pedri, you'd have Gavi, you have Aleix Garcia if he comes in, you have Gundogan, you have de Jong. We need to sign a pivot as well. That's 6. Romeu will end up leaving. Of course, Pablo Torre could come back. You need to have coverage. Again, with Gavi as well, he may not be fit until August, September, and we don't know what version we're going to get of Gavi. I pray to God every single day we get the Gavi that we saw when he got injured, returning the exact same way, but with an ACL injury, you never know. Again, Pedri gets injured at least twice or 3 times a season. Gundogan's going to be going to the final year of his deal next year. There's no longevity and guarantees in that midfield. That's why you had to bring in someone else, in my opinion. I think even if you have that 5 that I mentioned, plus signing a pivot as well, more than comfortable enough to have some balance there. People coming in for freshness. If the new manager might want to go the midfield 4, whatever the case may be. I think you have to add Aleix Garcia on top of what we already have. He's kind of like the finishing touch on our midfield. Again, we need a DM. We're not being linked with the DM whatsoever, so hopefully that comes to fruition soon. But I don't think Aleix Garcia signals the departure of anyone in the midfield, maybe Gundogan or Frankie de Jong, in my opinion. Now, in regards to fair play for the summer, according to Mundo Deportivo, on February 19th, La Liga will communicate to all the clubs the new salary limit for the summer transfer window. The limit could increase with new income, sale of players, and payment to La Liga of pending amount. So on February 19th, we'll know how much fair play margin we'll have in the summer, and the club can then begin to plan for that. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. But right now, one of Barcelona's main targets for the upcoming summer transfer window is Aleix Garcia of Girona. Now, the player that we have been linked with the most over, I would say, the past month and a half is, of course, Lucas Bergvall, this young Swedish midfielder who has been tearing it up in Sweden, and now Barcelona are making big moves to sign him, and we're getting closer and closer to a deal being completed. Now, Roger Solero and Ferran Martinez, Mundo Deportivo, came out saying that in Sweden, the agreement between Barcelona and Dirk Stargin for Lucas Bergvall is 7 million euros fixed plus 3 million euros in variable, and he would join Barcelona in July. Bergvall's involvement making it clear that they only want to join Barcelona, forced the Swedish club to wait for Barcelona's offer. Bergvall, who turns 18 on February the 2nd, is expected to have a Barca athletic record in principle, but projection towards the first team. Barcelona have a lot of confidence in Bergvall, capable of playing with the ball very well and defending wonderfully. He will also resist offers from other big clubs. So in total, it will be a 10 million euro package. We heard around maybe 7 to 9 million euro package, but Barcelona did, end up paying above and beyond. I'm pretty sure the fix would be paid in variables as well, maybe 2 or 3 variables, but nonetheless, 10 million euro package, 7 million euros up front, 3 million in variables. Now, Roger Solero from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Lucas Bergvall will visit Barcelona's facilities at the Ciutat Esportiva Joan Gamper a few days ago. Both the player and his parents value the sporting project a lot and want to know every single detail included to place the work before giving the definitive yes. The player is very confident and convinced of signing for Barcelona, and the club is quite optimistic, although they are reluctant to consider the signing fully closed. So this happened around 2 days or so. You had Romano tweeting left, right, and center. Full agreement between Barcelona and Dirkstein for 10 million euro package, 7 fixed, 3 in variables. Just now waiting for Bergvall's final yes. Into last night, though, we've reached a bit of a stumbling block. According to reports, there's always been a lot of clubs interested. Eintracht Frankfurt, Inter Milan, Manchester United. But then another English club started coming in and making big moves for Bergvall, trying to hijack the deal. And that club is Tottenham Hotspur. Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Tottenham Hotspur are calling Lucas Bergvall every hour, trying to convince him and hijack the deal. Barcelona are still in very advanced negotiations and talks with him. They already have an agreement, of course, with Ter Stegen and are now waiting for the final green light from the player side. Bergvall was also in London a few days ago to visit Spurs Stadium. Barcelona still remain confident. Now, Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying that Lucas Bergvall left Barcelona yesterday without giving an affirmative response whether he accepted their offer, although he visited the club's facilities yesterday. The reason is that Tottenham Hotspur have jumped in, promising him a place in the first team right now, while Barcelona are offering him an intermediate role between the first team and the reserve starting from next season. So apparently Tottenham have jumped in last second and are offering him a spot in the first team. And I will hold my hands up and say, you know what? Fair play. If he says yes to Tottenham to be in their first team, I don't blame him whatsoever. I think the development of Barcelona is much better, of course. Again, you just need 1 or 2 cameos to impress, and you'll be in and around the first team, no problem whatsoever. But if Tottenham want him now, can get him now, and put him in the first team now, I don't blame him for saying yes, but I do think this would be a big talent wasted and a big opportunity missed by Barcelona as well. We've worked on this deal for quite some time now, for about a month or so, and this will really, put a stamp, I think, in my opinion, on Deco's, influence and record as a sporting director. This is his first genuine target that he is pursuing, of course, with the summer targets like Victor Roque, which he did help a lot, to be fair to him, but Joao Cancelo, Joao Felix, Romeu, Inigo Gundogan, Matteo Alemán did all the hard work in that sense. I think this is his, first genuine signing for Barcelona. He already flopped at the last second due to a hijack. Not a good sign for him, but we'll wait and see. Again, Barcelona remain confident, just now down to whether Spurs can really convince Lucas Bergvall or not. Again, the deal between Barcelona and Bergvall is not done yet. I would probably put it at around 98% completed, because all we need now is a final yes from Lucas Bergvall. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. Again, the next 24 to 48 hours will be key, because we want to get this deal done before his birthday on February the 2nd. So, officially sign him as a 17-year-old, not an 18-year-old. But for now, the decision is in the hands of Bergvall himself. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past few days. First up is Sergino Dest, who is impressing a lot, especially in the last few months at his loan with PSV. And according to Mundo Deportivo, PSV is seriously considering activating his €10 million buy option for Dest due to his impressive performances so far this season. Hopefully that is the case. Now, I do want to say this. Remember the quotes I covered on the channel a few weeks ago about Dest, about his return to Barcelona, possibly. He said, if Xavi is the manager, there is no chance. Of course, now we know Xavi is not going to be the manager come the summer, so maybe the new manager coming in might like Dest, so we'll wait and see. I think the only way PSV can get him without Barcelona having a say-so, of course, if they activate the €10 million buy option they want. We heard rumors, of course, a few months ago that PSV want to keep Dest, but for less than 10 million, they want to renegotiate the terms with Barcelona, maybe a €10 million package, so to speak. So we'll wait and see how things turn out in that sense. But right now, PSV, they can sign Dest permanently tomorrow. If they want to, they do have the option to buy him. But if they don't execute that option to buy him, I think, honestly, we could see the new manager come in, maybe give Dest a chance or two. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. But right now, PSV, very happy with Dest, and they are looking to keep him on a permanent basis. Now, a player who has received a lot of interest in the final few hours of the January transfer window, and even Barcelona receiving official bids for him, is Mikayil Faye, who Barcelona, of course, paid €5 million for last summer. I believe 5 million as a package, maybe 3 in fixed, 2 in variables, but 5 million as a total package. And apparently Lens of France came in with a big bid. Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Lens have an official offer for Mikayil Faye, loan with buy obligation, for a package of around 8 to 9 million euros. It's not up to Barcelona to decide. The club's position has always been clear until today. All offers will be rejected. So 9 million euros they've offered as a total package, of course. So maybe having a little room of 4 million euros for Barcelona to make some profit. Of course, since then, the offer was rejected. Of course, Romano confirmed it. Also, Roger Lelo from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona have indeed rejected Lens' offer for Mikayil Faye. RB Salzburg and Atalanta were also interested in him, but Barcelona's response was the same: no thanks. If Faye continues with his progression, he could be promoted to the first team, although Paul Cuba's emergence could also go against him, or he could be sold for a higher fee than 9 million euros that Lens were offering. Barcelona could also want to wait for the next coach to evaluate the player and then decide his future. Tony Juan Marti came out saying that Eintracht Frankfurt are also interested in Mikayil Faye and are willing to pay over 10 million euros to sign him. The interested clubs, although with the economic aspect, are trying to convince him through a prospect of joining the first team directly. Barcelona have no intentions of letting him leave in January, although in the summer they will have to make a decision, bet on him for the first team, although Cobrazzi and everything indicates that he would want to continue at Barcelona or cash in. Continuing in the third division does not seem like a real option right now. So with Mikayil Faye this summer, it'll be very simple: first team, or he'll leave in some sort of capacity. We could see him go out on loan with buy option, loan with buy obligation, straight sale as well. We could see maybe, Astanias Pedrola, Chad Riyad kind of operation where we sell him. We have a buyback option, retain rights of his future. That I think would be a genuine good option. But I think rejecting that offer from Lens and other clubs as well this January is correct. You're not even making double your money to, really push for the club to move. I think if they were offering maybe 11 or 12, I'd probably be thinking, you know what, You're making double your money. He's only been here 6 months. Just take it and run. I've seen clips of Mikayil Faye. I tell you what, he's a cracking player. Great on free kicks as well. But he's a bit reckless. Gets red cards here and there. So I think he's a good player. But again, I think we're very well covered at center back. Again, Araujo, Koundé, Christensen, Inigo Martinez, Kubarsi. You have Aleix Garcia coming back on loan again. That's 6 or 7 center backs right there in the first team. So depends on what the club decide. We'll wait to see if Araujo is sold. Maybe we're gonna sell one of Christensen or Koundé. Then that kind of opens up a spot for Mikayil Faye. But in the summer though, a decision will be made. Either he leaves the club in some sort of capacity, loan permanently, or he will be part of the first team on a permanent basis. Now, the dumbest news that I have seen over the past few days, without a shadow of a doubt, has to be this. Not the news itself, but the player's decision. It is about Oriol Romeu. Now, let's give you guys a timeline, of course. Beginning of January, the cover like, okay, we might sell Romeu if the price is right, the deal's, kind of favorable, stuff like that. We've gotten offers for Romeu. I think Roma came with a loan bid. We said no. And then Besiktas came with an offer, a genuine, permanent move a few days ago, which Oriol Romeu himself rejected. But last night, according to Joan Romero, who very mind is very, very close to Romeu, he was very on point with the Girona links over the past summer, although Romeu has been quite up and down in terms of transfers. He came out saying that Oriol Romeu has officially requested a transfer. The club's idea is not to let him leave, though, due to the injury crisis currently in the squad. So Romeu handed in a transfer request last night, or yesterday at some point. What the like, how... This man, keep in mind, Romeu is a very intelligent player. He plays in probably the most difficult position on the pitch. He's written about 5 billion books. How are you this dumb? I mean, you've been on the bench. You've been warming your arse on the bench since November. And you've gone like, what, 3 or 4 games in a row where you didn't even have to warm up or make even a cameo appearance. You only come in now because you've had injury crises and also been playing in the Cup and the Copa del Rey, round 32, round 16 against Barbastro and Unionistas where you need to rotate. How have you only realized now that you want to hand in a transfer request with only 24 hours left in the window? That's why at the beginning of the video, I said there's probably not going to be anything happening, because if Romeu hands in a transfer request, we get an offer on deadline day, maybe the club might move to a player last second and try and steal something. That could be a possibility. In my opinion, I would let him go. I don't care what the offer. If he wants to leave, I'll say, okay, bring us an offer. If it's good, we'll accept it. Because you know what? I'd rather see Casado play, I'd rather see Pau Prim play, Unai Hernandez, whoever it is, over Romeu. I understand he has experience, but bloody hell, his experience is shite. The fact that he tried the Travella pass last night and he couldn't even execute that, for me, that should be a signal of something. So I'll wait and see how things turn out. But again, this, for me, the brighter side of this is that he'll probably leave in the summer. If he's asking to leave in January, I think in the summer, surely we'll try to find a way out for him. But he's handing in a transfer request, and we'll wait and see how things turn out in the final 12 hours or so of this window. If someone comes with a big offer, not big, I mean big offer in retrospect to him, maybe like $1 million or $2 million, or whatever the case may be. We'll wait and see what happens, but most likely he will end up staying until the summer. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. There is quite a few updates, unfortunately. First up is on Alejandro Balde. Some good news. His surgery in Finland was successful on his hamstring. And there's also reports coming in from Fran Martinez Mundo Deportivo saying that Xavi and his staff prioritized Alejandro Balde's career and insisted on him to undergo the surgery. His future was at risk, and his family believed the same as well. If Balde did not undergo the surgery, he risked losing his strength, explosiveness, and speed, his best virtues. The injury is considered more serious than the one Hansi Flick suffered in his hamstring. That scared the shit out of me, because I'm thinking now, bloody hell, if Alejandro Balde comes back from this injury in the summer, preseason, first few games, does well, first game of the season gets injured, I'm thinking, we've got now Ansu Fati 2.0. Hopefully, God forbid that is the case, but Balde's surgery, successful, now time to rehab, recovery, all those things like that. Apparently, he still could make the Olympics for Spain, but I think the club will not approve for him to go whatsoever unless he is 100 trillion% fully fit by that point. Of course, Euros pretty much done for him at this point. His priority is, of course, to reach the preseason for Barcelona. Very similar timeline to, of course, Pablo Gave. Next injury update is on Joao Felix, who of course did suffer a sprained ankle in the training session on Tuesday, the day before the Osasuna match. Big blow again. How the sprained ankle happened? Was it from a tackle, him running? I don't know. I think if it's a sprain, then it's definitely some sort of a tackle that went on him. Who did the tackle? I have no idea. But the timeline for Joao Felix is quite in question. Tony Juan Martín's come out saying that after initial tests, it seems that Joao Felix will be out for around 4 weeks. It is a miracle if he'll make it to the Napoli first leg game. Having from AS said that, look, it's only a grade 1 sprain. He'll be about 2 or 3 weeks recovery. If nothing goes serious, he should be available for the game against Napoli. So he's going to come back around end of February. The question is really when. For me, I can't believe having Miguel a bit more than Tony Juan Martín. I don't even think Tony Juan Martín has been right at all in terms of injuries this season. That's why he's blocked me on Twitter, because I called him out for it, because he comes out, initial tests, initial thoughts, all this stuff. He hasn't been right whatsoever. At least having Miguel has a decent track record. I think Felix can be on the bench for Napoli. Ain't no way he's going to start that game. So that's the reality of it. We'll probably see him around end of February. I think definitely by the end of February, we'll see Felix in some capacity. But one player we won't see until probably March is, of course, Ferran Torres. The club have confirmed he has suffered a right hamstring injury in the match last night against Osasuna, 2 minutes into the bloody game. And of course, with the hamstring injury, he's going to be out for a month. And having Miguel, I think even Tony Juan Martín confirmed that they both came out saying that he'll be out for a month. He will definitely miss, of course, the Napoli game around the middle to end of February. With Ferran Torres, his timeline will be probably coming back just before the March international break. Worst case scenario, after the international break. So a big blow for Barcelona, of course, but it is what it is. What can we can't do? We can just sit here and moan, but it's not going to change anything. Of course, Rafinha hopefully will be back in the next week or so. That's going to be, of course, a big boost to our front line. But no Joao Felix, no Ferran Torres till at least the end of February, which I believe is a massive blow. We also were missing another forward last night against Osasuna, and that was Marc Guehi. Tony Juan Martín came out saying that Marc Guehi was suffering from a fever, and that's why he was not included in the squad list for the match against Osasuna. He was not involved also in the training session on Tuesday as well. So just a little bit of a fever for Marc Guehi. Hope he does come back soon, because now he has this big opportunity. We have only Lewandowski and Victor Roque as our first team fit natural forwards. Of course, you have Lamine Yamal as well, so you only have 3 fit forwards. So Marc Guehi is going to be used a lot in the next few games. Granada, Celta Vigo, Alaves. He's really going to be getting an opportunity on the pitch. So those are the injury updates. Again, Bali out for the season. We'll see Ferran Torres and Joao Felix around the end of February, beginning of March time. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is, of course, the news in regards to Barcelona's search for a new manager. Now, before I get into the news, I do want to say this. We're in the very, very early stages. Of course, this is the prime time right now to sell newspapers, get clicks. So take everything with a pinch of salt. Deco did come out before the match against Osasuna saying that, look, we have not even started looking for a manager. We're still kind of shocked that Xavi has resigned. So take that with a pinch of salt, but we'll get right into it. Firstly, some news around Xavi's resignation. Tony Juan Martín came out saying that Xavi decided he is not continuing next season on January 17th. After meeting with several people, the loss against Madrid in the Super Cup was the final straw. So about 10 days before he actually announced it, that's when he decided essentially that he's not going to be continuing beyond this season. According to Sport as well, Xavi has decided to give up 8 million euros that he was going to earn next season, although his coaching staff have also given up 4 million euros, saving the club around a total of 12 million euros next season. So, of course, shout out to them. Absolutely unbelievable gesture. Again, they don't have to. They are contractually obliged to receive the 8 million euros for Xavi, 4 million for his coaching staff, but they are giving it up. They are letting it go for the great good of the club, and that's something that we do, of course, have to take into consideration. Let's now get into these targets, of course. We've been linked with a lot of names over the past, I would say, a week or so since the news came out about Xavi. Firstly, of course, on Mikel Arteta, who has completely shut down the reports. There were some crazy reports suggesting that Arteta was going to leave Arsenal at the end of the season. He already told his closest friends. The fact that the English media fell for Sport just shows how inexperienced they are. Of course, Arteta came out in the media saying that I'm not leaving Arsenal. It's the club of my life. I'm shocked by the news. It destroyed me. It made me feel sad. It affected my family. Who cares? Arteta said no. That's going to be the reality of it. Next Spanish manager is, of course, Luis Enrique, who was asked after PSG's 2-2 draw with Brest, do you see yourself returning to Barcelona? And Luis Enrique said, I had nothing to comment on this issue. So he didn't say no, didn't say yes, sat right his arse in the middle on the fence, no comment. So for me, that means that I think he's keeping one door open. But I'm quite surprised that Luis Enrique is open to coming back to Barcelona. Usually when Barcelona managers leave, they tend to never come back unless they, give a reason. Of course, Xavi said, look, I'm leaving for the greater good of the club. Now it's not my time to continue. Will I come back in the future? Potentially. So Xavi kind of left that door open, so that's fine with Luis Enrique. He never did that. But of course, I would take him back in an absolute heartbeat. Now, in regards to the most likelier managers to join, it is, of course, going to be that German philosophy. The best German manager, of course, available at the moment is Jurgen Klopp, who said he's going to take a sabbatical, of course, after the season ends. It's going to be very, very hard for Barcelona to convince him to take the Barcelona job. Mikayil Faye came out saying the club believed that appointing Jurgen Klopp is already a lost cause and it's practically impossible, of course. But then we got a bit of a lifeline. Ivan San Antonio from Sport, who, of course, again, is a very reliable source, came out saying that Jurgen Klopp is the top of Barcelona's list to replace Xavi. He's a great dream of Joan Laporta, and the club is convinced they can persuade him to postpone his vacation and join Barcelona's project, going all out for him. Now, the fact that Jurgen Klopp is leaving Liverpool after 9 years, and all of a sudden, because the Barcelona job became available, he's going to postpone that, I think that's very unlikely. The club have wishful thinking. This could be Ivan San Antonio just putting stuff out in the media by the club to see how the team reacts, how the media reacts, how maybe Jurgen Klopp and the Liverpool media react. But Jurgen Klopp is not going to come to Barcelona. If he was, he'd be my top target, of course. I would take him. I would be very, very excited with that transfer. It's not going to happen. So forget about it. I think the German coach right now, that's very the most likely option. I think right now, if we were to appoint a manager tomorrow, he would be the clear favorite, and that is Hansi Flick. Now, Christian Falk of Bild, who is a reliable source in Germany, he has been talking a lot about Hansi Flick and Barcelona over the past 24 hours. He's come out saying that Hansi Flick is a hot candidate to be Xavi's successor at Barcelona. President Joan Laporta is pushing for him. The foreign manager is ready for a new challenge in the summer. A foreign league appeals to him. And then just before the Osasuna match, he came out saying that Deco has officially contacted Hansi Flick on behalf of Joan Laporta. Barcelona wants to inform him that he is on the list of potential candidates to succeed Xavi. So they're basically calling saying, hey, how's it going? Long time no see. You're on our list to, take over Xavi. Are you interested in the job? What are your thoughts? Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. Now, Mundo Deportivo did come out saying that Barcelona have not contacted Hansi Flick, and again, the reporter from Mundo Deportivo is not too reliable, but still well known. That could be just the club saying that, look, we have not contacted Hansi Flick whatsoever, but Christian Falk is very, very close to Hansi Flick's entourage, so I doubt this would be something that he would make up. I think he's definitely on a list of options for sure, especially with him being a free agent and available, good manager as well. There is a few question marks about him, which we will talk about later on, but I think right now Hansi Flick, definitely I would say top 5 contenders at the moment. Next up is the man who lost to Luton. Bloody Luton 4-0. De Zerbi. Luis Rojo from Marca. Luis Rojo is a top source. He's come out saying that Barcelona want to replace Xavi with Roberto De Zerbi. They believe the Brighton manager is the best option at this time. This would be a very dumb move by Barcelona. The squad's at a point where it needs experience. It needs elite level coaching. De Zerbi is just another Xavi. De Zerbi is just another Valverde, a Setien, a Koeman. Not in the sense of philosophy and style of play, but at his moment as a manager. I think making the jump from Brighton to Barcelona is way too big. And again, he just did get slapped up by Luton. Luton 4-0. No thanks from me. Now, Fabrizio Romano's come out saying that Roberto De Zerbi is appreciated by both Barcelona and Liverpool, but it's still too early to decide his future. Moreover, the coach himself wants to focus on the second half of the season at Brighton right now, of course. I'm not too fond on De Zerbi. Let me know down in the comments below what you think on De Zerbi. I think, again, for me, it is just way too early for him to make the jump from Brighton to Barcelona, and I don't think he's done that much as well. Yes, he plays good football. Yes, it's possession based, and there's high press, but maybe you could say Brighton don't have the players to execute that game plan, but I just think it's still too big of a jump for him at the current moment. Now, we have been living with other managers as well, in Imanol Alguacil and also Thiago Motta. Fabrizio Romano's come out saying that someone in Barcelona's board appreciates Imanol Alguacil, but no contacts have been made or placed with him. No contacts also have been made with Thiago Motta either, who is expected to stay at Bologna next season as well. Quickly on Thiago Motta, Fabrizio Romano also elaborated, saying that Thiago Motta will stay in Italy. He will not be the Barcelona coach. Everything can change, of course, in the world of football, but at the moment, he is definitely not even a candidate to replace Xavi as the Barcelona manager. Now, with Thiago Motta and Imanol Alguacil, I kind of sit in the same spot as De Zerbi, where Thiago Motta, I would say mainly good manager. Still a bit too early for him to make that move from Bologna to Barcelona, and again, we need someone with experience, not someone who is inexperienced coming in and using Barcelona as his experience. With Imanol Alguacil, great manager, but again, very similar to me to the Ernesto Valverde trajectory that we saw when he joined Bilbao from Barcelona. It is a jump. He has experience in La Liga, of course, but I think on the European scale, attracting those players in the transfer market, he's not going to be up to scratch in my opinion. I think, yes, the Sociedad play good football, they dominate, they have high press, all these things like that, intensity in their game, but I think Sociedad is his level. Of course, it's his boyhood club as well, so I doubt he'd even leave to join Barcelona. I think Imanol Alguacil is a great manager. I think, again, very similar to like a Quique Setién approach for Barcelona. You appoint someone who fits the right philosophy and style, but again, the job is just too big for them. That's how I see it. I think Imanol Alguacil, if he has ambitions to be the Barcelona manager, he'd probably move to another club a bit bigger than Sociedad, maybe like a Tottenham or a Dortmund, something like that, and then make the jump to Barcelona. I think right now it's a bit too early. Now, in regards to bringing in a Barcelona manager, of course, for the board, there's going to be a few speculation, a few rules. Firstly, one that Laporta really wants, a Spanish-speaking manager. The Athletic have come out saying that Barcelona's management are very reluctant to bring in a coach who does not speak Spanish because they believe it will make the situation even more difficult. I 1,000,000,000% agree. Now, this rule can maybe not be. This rule might be voided, for example, for like a Jurgen Klopp. When you find one of the best managers in the world, I assume Klopp knows a bit of Spanish from his time at Dortmund and Liverpool for 9 years. Sounds a lot of South American players who speak Spanish. I think he knows a bit of Spanish, but with Klopp, you bring that interpreter in, you bring the translator in because it's worth it. But with Hansi Flick and that's pretty much it. I think De Zerbi speaks Spanish. I think Motta speaks Spanish. And of course, Alguacil speaks Spanish. With Hansi Flick, that's a big question mark for me. I think if he does not speak Spanish, I would be very reluctant to appoint him because, again, everything is in Spanish. The players speak Spanish, press conference in Spanish, the whole entire atmosphere, and, media is in Spanish, referees Spanish, so it's going to be quite difficult for him to adapt for sure. I am aware that the majority of the Barcelona squad do speak English, but again, if Spanish is the native language, you want to have at least some sort of that dialect in there. I think you can only make that excuse for maybe like a Jurgen Klopp or like, I would say Pep Guardiola, but Pep, of course, knows Spanish. But, top 5 managers in the world, you kind of make that rule exception for them, but other managers like Hansi Flick, I think they definitely need to know some sort of Spanish at that point. Now, finally, Fabrizio Romano has come out saying that Barcelona's search for the next manager is going to take some time. Nothing is imminent or close at this stage. It's going to be about ideas, internal discussions, and also contact with some important agents. This is not a fast process. Also, Barcelona can't fall after the disappointment season and strong words from Xavi in the press conference. Joan Laporta will decide together with the board, especially with Deco. Again, we're not going to put a manager before April, 100%. I think by the time we reach April and May, we'll have the concrete options, top 3, top 4, and then we'll have the idea of who Barcelona really want. Again, for me, as long as they're officially appointed before June the 1st, I'll take it. Not even official by the club, even by the media. Like, here we go from Romano. Iniesta is going to be the new manager. Barcelona confirmed, and everyone in the media confirms it. Fernando Polo, Roger Toledo, Fran Martinez, Jordan Romero, Hanina Codes, Javi Miguel, Tony Juan Martinez. Once everyone confirms it, if that happens before June the 1st, I'm happy because you got to start planning for the transfer window. Of course, we're going to know our fair play by February 19th. Key areas that need to be decided. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. Again, it could be maybe other managers as well that are in a job. We'll see how we'll have Luis Enrique by the end of the season, Thomas Tuchel as well. But this is going to be a big and monumental change at Barcelona, and Laporta and Deco have to get this appointment right. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. But the main thing, firstly, of course, is your thoughts on Barcelona's search for a new manager. Anyone that you're really, fancying, who would you go for, who would you avoid? Second, your thoughts on the Lucas Bergvall operation. We think it would be, Deco's first L as a sporting director. What your thoughts on him joining Tottenham over Barcelona as well? 30, your thoughts on Aleix Garcia being a summer transfer target for Barcelona. I think that's a positive thing for our midfield. I think it's a negative because see maybe Gundogan, maybe Frankie de Jong depart the club. And finally, your thoughts on Mikayil Faye's future. Do you think he'll be part of the first team next season, or do you see him making a move on a loan or permanent basis to another club in the summer? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.